Let's go. Welcome to On the Attack with Mac, a podcast for service business entrepreneurs that will inspire, motivate, and even educate you to go out there and win in life. I am your host, Cornell Mack, and your boy is geeked up because we're standing in the brand new Mac Attack Media Studios. Shout out to the wife who put this whole thing together for me while I was away doing podcasting down in New Orleans at the Synced Live conference with my homie Naylor Taliaferro on Pod Row. And it was absolutely fire. And then I came home to this wonderful surprise that my wife went out here and created for me. But today we're going to be talking about Snowmageddon, this storm that just passed through here in the last week and a half or two. How did I handle that storm while I was here and also while I was in New Orleans? But then we're going to go over the conditioning process. And I got a story for you about a basketball coach that told me something that absolutely changed my life. And I hope that it will change yours as well. So stick around because it is going to be a fun show today. And I have missed you. I've been away for 3 weeks. I apologize, man. The Steelers lost since I've been away. I had what is called salt lung. This dude told me there's a thing called salt lung. I must have been inhaling too much salt dust or something from all of this snow that we've been having. And your boy lost his voice. I couldn't even talk. It was absolutely insane. All right. Let me tell you. And then last week, I just happened to be away on a trip and I couldn't do it because of the time differences and things like that. So unfortunately, I'm sorry. No, we were battling a crazy snowstorm and I was out for 24 straight hours. And I'm going to tell you about that today. But you know how it goes here. We are going to go through the live viewer shout outs, followed by the motivational minute. Then we got the winner of the week and a special 3-part word of the week for you. We got 3 words of the week because I've been away for 3 weeks. All right. So we're going to give you those as well. But we got to get to these live viewer shout outs first. I appreciate you being here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me. Now, if you want to be shouted out and you're watching on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, do me a favor, comment down below so that I know that you're here. Let me know where are you from, how many inches of snow did you get, and we will shout you out on the podcast. But we're going to start over here on Instagram with the people who are here on Instagram, and we got Shang's Landscaping over here, Aaron's Lawn Care, my homie. I hope you are feeling better, Aaron. If that's Aaron Strunk. If that's not Aaron Strunk, welcome to the show, Aaron. We got my man Josh Brass, Bug's Life is in the building down there in Texas. He said they got Texas snow in 2025 and I think 2005 or something like that. But it got real cold down there. Christopher Kleckner is in the building. How are you? One with Nature Landscaping. What's up? TM Landscaping Services. That is the 21-year-old Savage. My main man Tommy, who's moving to the compound. We got a new compound crew happening because Talon's leaving and Tommy's getting in here. But we got, my man of Bug's Life, Hillside Irrigation, One Landscapes. What's going on with you? Towers, Jameson, Maria La Santa, Maria La Santa. I should have said that a little bit better, but it was all together. Lone Wolf Landscaping, my homie Cobb's Lawn Care and Maintenance is in the building. Woodbrine All Seasons LLC. What is going on with you? Thompson's Lawn Care 513. Nick 23. Bayjack, how are you? What is going on? Thompson's Lawn Care 5. I already said that. Willie the Grass Man, what's going on with you, homie? And then over here, we have on Facebook, Marcus Tate Seeds. That is Marcus Tate, the LBC OG in the building. We got a new backdrop. That's right. Spence Crisco. He noticed it. He is a channel member. Shout out to you. Caitlin Constantine. That's my girl right there. That's Alex's wife. My man David Penn is in the building. Alan Lemire with Lemire Lawn. I think they got like 2 or 3 feet of snow up there in Boston. All right. You got that Boston accent. I don't know. I hope that was the right accent. I don't know. Let me know. But hey, if you really want to help out tonight's show, do me a favor and share it on your social media, no matter which one you're watching on. If you're watching on Facebook, awesome. YouTube, awesome. Hey, Instagram, awesome. But do me a favor, share it and hit that like button, man. The more you do that, the more it shows the algorithm that this show is something worth watching for our service business entrepreneurs who are out here. All right. And I want to help you out. So now we got anybody else in here before I get going with the show. Harold Wilson Jr. in the building. What's going on? Mrs. Mack did a great job with the podcast room. Yeah, she did, man. Let me know down in the comments what y'all think of that. She made that thing, by the way. I still have a spotlight that's going to go up to really shine some light on my caricature logo. Right now, I got some old school stuff that I had, but my wife, I told her kind of what I wanted. And if you're listening on the podcast, you can come watch us live Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern for On the Attack with Mac, the live show. And then Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'll be interviewing service business entrepreneurs from all over to give you words of wisdom and tell you how they did their stuff. And that's also at 9. And you should be watching, even if you are listening, you can listen to it later, but watch it live while it's happening. Be a part of the community, right? Let them know down in the comments, should you be a part of the community, or are you happy that you're a part of this winning life community? But I told her that I needed some sound barrier stuff in the back and all of this stuff. Listen, I got ADHD so bad, I can't go into Lowe's or any other place and have a whole lot of choices because I can't make a choice then. I need 3 choices. And that's why I structured my business that way, because it's just easier for me and it's easier for the people. But yeah, I told my wife what I needed. I went down to go do some podcasting and stuff. And I came back not knowing that any of this had happened. And I walked in here. She has a video of it. I'm an emotional guy. All right. And this is the type of stuff that is like, this is like love. When someone that does something for you that you didn't even know that you needed to be done for you, that's what love looks like to me. And that is what my wife does constantly. I mean, wherever there is a hole, she's there to fill it. Whatever I'm not thinking, she thinks of. I just couldn't do what I do without her. And I came home to this wonderful room. There's a sticker wall now over here. I got notes over here. There's places for my lights and everything. So shout out to my wife, my beautiful wife, Mrs. Cassie Mack. And shout out to all the other wives who are out there. And you husbands, we need to be, I wouldn't say more like wives because we all have a role to play, but we should be thoughtful. And I am not very thoughtful. She is very, very thoughtful. And she thought up all of this stuff. So shout out to my wife. And yeah, I had to turn the volume back up, but yeah, I appreciate the love, and I hope that you guys enjoy the professionalism we are trying to bring to you each and every week. Even though I've missed a couple weeks, I apologize for that. But that's the live viewer shout outs, and now we got to get to this week's motivational minute, and it's sort of like what we just talked about. Sometimes you don't know what you need, but the people who are on the outside looking in, it's like watching the TV. They see where you're missing. It's like when you're watching the horror movie and you're like, don't fall, don't fall. And they inevitably fall. It's because you're watching from the outside talking about what you would do if you was in that circumstance. Well, just press pause, man. Press pause. Tell the people who you see are struggling a little bit, and maybe you're not struggling anymore. Give them some words of wisdom. And if you are struggling, reach out. Don't be quiet. All right. Closed mouths don't get fed. And if you don't reach out to people to ask the right questions, how are you ever going to get to the wins that you see in your life when you know that people are out there who have the answers, but you're unwilling to try for them, to try and go get them? So be a light, but also ask people for light so that you can light your path, which then lights the path for others. On the Motivational Minute, it is all about helping other people the same way you were helped. So if someone has helped you, then you reach back and you help someone. And if you haven't been helped yet, hit me up, Mac_landscaping 412, and I'll do what I can to help you get better in this game, because that is what it's all about. Finding your niche, what you like to do, and the wins in your own life so that you can accomplish them and live the life that you always dreamed of. But that's this week's Motivational Minute. We got to get to winner of the week because, like I said, I got 3 words of the week. And this week's winner week, like I said, we've been going through this crazy snowstorm. Let me know down in the comments, how many inches of snow did you get throughout this storm? Some people got ice and sleet, some people got a whole lot of rain. Here in Pittsburgh, we got a whole lot of snow. We're going to talk about it a little bit, but I want to know, how much snow did you get where you're from? And do you use a plow, a snow blower, a shovel? How did you manage all of that? If you don't mind, put that down in the comments and we'll try to get to some of them before we get to the end of the show. But this week's winner of the week is all those snow warriors who are out there. Some people still taking care of driveways, taking care of parking lots, helping out people. And putting some money in your pocket, hopefully. And we also have another winner of the week. My man Steve-O, he's been on the show before. I did a YouTube video shop tour with him about 2 months ago. And he was just driving down the street. He seen an elderly woman shoveling her driveway out. I mean, she was like 80 some years old. We can't have that. We can't. We're in this industry, right? And sometimes, man, it just feels good to help somebody. So my man Steve-O, he seen the old lady. He grabbed his Toro Multi-Force with the plow on it. He cleaned up the thing, got her all cleared out so she could get in and out. Because I mean, once you get in that old age, man, if something happens and they need to get an ambulance to your house, but everything is blocked off, it's really gonna hurt. You know, maybe you don't get the help that you need because of some snow and Mother Nature, right? But if you are out here and you see someone who is in need, man, everything ain't about money. And Steve-O made it not be about money. He just seen a need and he filled that need, and he did record it. Right. And when he put it on the internet, it went nuts. And so he realized a lot of people have needs. And so people started hitting him up, and he's been on a rampage going around just helping people for free. So shout out to my man Steve-O and all the other snow warriors who have been out there clearing up this snow that hit over 200 million Americans here in the last couple of weeks. So it has been crazy. Snowmageddon has been amazing for some people, like the people who have snowplows, like myself, but it has also been total devastation for a lot of Americans. And so, shout out to anyone who's going out there helping people out. Whether you're getting paid or you're doing it for free does not really make a difference for me. But I seen Steve-O was out doing it for free, helping out older people and people who are disabled to get out of their driveway so that they can be safe. So shout out to all of those people who are out there doing things to keep us uh, moving. Right, you got to go to work and all of that. I seen this one thing. These people, they got into an argument because here in Pittsburgh, you got people taking hours and hours and hours to dig out their parking spot, because now we're about a week past the actual snowstorm, and this snow, we got people got 2 and 3 feet of snow in front of their house or barricading their car in. And then you go out and bust through all that ice with some, most people got plastic snow shovels. Like, you gotta have a spade shovel, a transfer shovel, some sort of shovel that has metal on it so you can get through the ice. So you go out there, you dig out your parking spot, you leave to go to the grocery store, you come back, and your neighbor is parked in the parking spot that you dug out, and they didn't dig theirs out. This lady buried this other lady's completely whole entire car. It went crazy. It got like 1 million views. The news was at her house and everything. So people's don't park in someone else's spot. If you ain't dig that thing out, stay out of there, man. You might get your tires flattened. But this week's word of the week, we got 3 of them. Let me hit this banner real quick. Shout out to my homie Marcus Tate. If you don't know who he is the LBC OG. He's one of my very best friends in the industry, and he sends out a word of the week to not just me, but to several other people who I know get a lot of value from it. So I've been away for 3 weeks. Let me find Marcus in here, and we will get to these words of the week. So this first word of the week is it's literally from January 19th. That is crazy. But it says Rise and Shine word of the week is blueprint. Blueprint is defined as a guide for making something or a design or a pattern that can be followed. This word comes from the message Dr. Martin Luther King. What is your life's blueprint? He had 3 points. 1, believe in you. 2, be determined to achieve excellence. And 3, to have beauty, love, and justice. This is a great question to ask yourself. What is your blueprint? We all have the ability and the power to design the life that we want. Mark is speaking my language. One thing that makes your blueprint easier is when you know your purpose. So let's walk in purpose and write the vision. The pencil is in your hands. Then the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain on tablets that he may run who reads it. I don't know how to say, is that Habakkuk? Habakkuk? I don't know how to say that. I got to get better at reading these crazy names in the Bible. Habakkuk 2:2 in the New King James Version of the Bible. Have a great week. Marcus Tate, the blueprint of your life. If you've been watching this show, then you probably know what the blueprint of my life is, what my life's purpose is. If you don't know, I'll tell you. I told this story 1,000 times. I ain't gonna bore you with it. But my grand passed away 2016. I'm sorry, when I was 16 and had the longest funeral procession. That became the mission for my life, is to have a long funeral procession by helping people go out there and win in life. So what is your purpose? What is the blueprint? What did uh, you get put here for? And you start doing that, man, you will find a joy unlike anything that you have ever felt in your life. I promise you that. And then this next one is word of the week: abundance. It says abundance is defined as having a very large quantity of something. When you hear abundance, a lot of people think about money. Excuse me. Well, let's think about the personal side of this. What would you do with an abundance of love, knowledge, and understanding? Let's take knowledge, for example. If you have an abundance of knowledge, you can become a teacher that can educate others in whatever knowledge base you have. I have been blessed the most by people just willing to share their abundance with me. In return, I try my best to pay it forward. What abundance do you walk in? We all have something we could share with the world, but the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight them in themselves with the abundance of peace. That is from Psalms 37:11 in the New King James Version of the Bible. Live in abundance. Isn't that what we're all trying to do? Most people, I ain't gonna say most people, I started a business because I wanted to live an abundant life. And I couldn't get to what my goal was because there were invisible chains and a glass ceiling that limited where I could get to. And then I started a business. And the only limit on where you get to go in a business is you and your knowledge and your willingness and your determination to make something happen for yourself, for your family, for your future, most importantly for God. I used to say that on the other show. But living in abundance doesn't mean money. You can live in abundance in health. You can live in abundance in spirituality. You can live in abundance in your marriage. You can live in an abundant friendship. There's so many different things you can live in an abundance of. So open up your mind and be ready to live in the world of abundance, because what you think about, you become. So think about being abundant in everything, overflowing in everything, and the finances most likely will overflow as well, and you'll be living in an abundant life. That's what we want to do. Man, this coffee is it's hitting right now. All right, this last one, word of the week, is way. Way is defined as a method, style, or manner of doing something. Secondly, it can be a road, track, path, street for traveling. We are travelers by nature. We stay on the go to provide for ourselves and our families. We are all traveling different ways, but they will lead us to some of the same destinations. So when you cross paths with someone while you are traveling, and I'm sorry, when you cross paths with someone while you are traveling, take time to learn from your journey and their experiences. When we study the paths of others, it helps us to find our own way. A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. That is from Proverbs 16:9 in the New King James Version of the Bible. Which way are you going? Because I only want to be around people who are walking in the same direction as me, and then looking for ways that we can walk faster. How can we get there faster? I'm looking for the way to the abundant life. I promise you. And I want you to be on that way with us. And this is why we do this show every week, to inspire, motivate, and sometimes even educate you to go out there and win in life, because we are on our way to our promised land, which has abundance within it. It has abundance within it. I forgot what that other word was. There's been so many words of the week. I didn't lost them all. But those are the words of the week this week. Thank you, Marcus Tate, the LBC OG, for sending those through to inspire not just me, but the other people who tune in to the show each week. But now, before we get into the main part of the show, we got Area 412 Landscaping in the building. What's going on with you? Let me do some more live viewer shout outs quickly. We got Area 412 in the building on YouTube. Lithos Lawn Care, that's my man. Chris, we got my man Lamont Pookie Hairston in the building. He was just on the show. Harold Wilson Jr. was in the show. Is I don't know what I'm saying. George Nelson, that's my cousin. What's going on with you over here? We got Nashville Lawn Care, Cat's Paw LLC. Larissa Tate says, awesome, brother. Professional Lawn Maintenance has a 9.2 Boss VTX. I don't know what a VTX is. Valley View Lawns is in the building. Caden Criswell, that's my nephew. He's about to start a podcast himself. I just sent him some mics for his birthday. Happy birthday, young man. His birthday's in like 5 or 7 days or something like that. System Ground Inc. How are you doing today? D. Osborne in the building. Huff 1050 in the building. A cut above lawn care in West Virginia. Carvis Johnson is in the building. What's going on with you? Lady G5 451 is in the building. What's going on? DR Services is in the building, man. We got a lot of people watching the show tonight. But hey, let's get into today's show. I hope that you guys have been enjoying your time off. We're going to talk about how I handled the snowstorm, the little trip that I went on, and then I'm going to tell you a story that hopefully will get you off in the right direction this year as we sit here at the time of this recording on February 2nd, 2026. So if you're listening to this in the future, that's why we make evergreen content. So it's always relatable. But we're going to give you a little bit of what's happening right now. And if you're in the future listening to this and it's snowing for you, get out there, Snow Warrior. Go out there and kick some ass, make some cash. All right, plow some snow, make some dough. Get in the game. That's what we want to see. But the snow Mageddon. So we were scheduled. I won't, man, Doyle. So we have the Snow Dogs. All right. I use Boss products, but we have a group chat called the Snow Dogs. And in that group chat, there's me, my homie Tommy, the 21-year-old savage, my man John Doyle, Doyle's Brothers Lawn Care, Talon with Authority Lawn and Landscape, who I just seen at the basketball game I was at. His sister played my daughter in basketball. So I had to leave at halftime to come here and be with you. And then we got my man, the 7-foot landscape giant. Y'all know him. Y'all love him. Big old pipes, my man John Piper, the snow giant. And we were texting, and John Doyle puts in the group chat, what are y'all gonna do? It says we're getting 17 inches. And I was like, boy, what app are you looking on? Because I don't see no snow in sight. I'm on the Weather Channel app. Boy, I'm looking at everything. It says 35% of snow or 35% snow on Saturday going into Sunday. So we all in the group chat like, nah, bro. But as the week progressed, that was on like a Monday. As the week progressed, the daggone forecast started to change, and it started to change rapidly, almost on a daily basis. And that's how my algorithm on YouTube found this dude named Ryan Hall. He's a weatherman on YouTube. He got 3 million subscribers. Ryan Hall, y'all. He got this little southern twang. But boy, was he giving some fire information. So if wherever you're at, he goes live every single day talking about the national weather. So it ain't just your local weather. Go to your news for that or your own app or whatever. But if you want to know how something's going to affect you that might be in a different part of the country, this Ryan Hall, y'all, is a beast. I'm telling you right now. And then also he went live for like 12, 14 straight hours. I do an hour and it's like, damn, bro, how do you talk this much? But I'm sure he has a whole production team and all of that. I produce all this myself, player. This is all me. Besides this background, my wife did all of that. But I'm the one hitting all the buttons, changing the camera, doing all of that stuff. So I ain't got all of that to do. But I listened to him, and he was like, "Yo, this is about to be nuts. Nashville's about to get 2 to 3 inches of ice. This place in this other part of the area, they're getting snow and sleet. Pittsburgh is gonna get 16 inches." I was like, "What? Ryan Hall, y'all? What you talking about, bruh? I'm about to leave to go to New Orleans." on Tuesday, and now I got to battle some snow on Sunday into or Monday, Saturday into Sunday, which then turned from Saturday into Monday. So it turned into something crazy, and so uh, I got out there though. It started at 7 o'clock, around like at 7 o'clock on Saturday, and it was just like if you're in a snow area, then you know what I'm talking about. But it was like this misty little flaky snow, but there was a lot of it. But it looked almost like it sounds stupid saying it's frozen rain. But if you've ever had like a drizzle and you know what that drizzle looks like, it's just like a mist. That's how the snow was. And so at 7 o'clock, it didn't look like anything. And then 8 o'clock, nothing. And then it got to like 10:30 and it was still nothing. It's the up's like, where is this stupid storm? But I will say this: it was saying next 3 hours, 4 inches. Next 12 hours, 11 inches. Next 24 hours, 17 inches. And I was like, oh, all right, this ain't playing. So I was like, all right, let me get out here. I go and grab my salt early because I know I'm gonna just head straight out to my places. I was thinking I would pre-salt, but here's what I discovered. If you don't know this, it was about to snow for 24 straight hours. So I have a small snow operation. I have friends who have giant snow operations. So I didn't call them, I texted our snow dogs to ask if they were going to pre salt. They were like, no. But there's this other guy named Scott McGinn. I did a shop tour with him. He got big. I mean, he does the parking lots and stuff for like our professional sports teams in the NFL, the NHL. He does their parking lots and stuff. So he got big old crazy machines. So I just didn't know what I don't know. I never had to deal with a blizzard before. So I hit him up and I'm like, yo, should we go out and pre-sold? He was like, it will be totally ineffective. It will do nothing. So don't even worry about that. I was like, all right, bet. So I get the snow anyway. He's like, "Cause you want to be heavy," and that is what me and Tommy was like. Yeah, we should get salt. I hold my solder can hold 2 tons, but I don't have the dump truck like I did previous years. So the dump truck was super heavy. I never had any traction problems with this. Almost 2 feet of snow coming. I was afraid that maybe the truck, even though it's a 350, wouldn't be heavy enough, like to push through everything. It pushed through everything fine, and I won't know because I did go get the 2 tons of salt anyway. And I went out and I plowed everything. We didn't sold anything. Then I parked, took a nap, and went out. That was the first 4 inches. Then I parked and took a nap. And when I woke back up, I swear to you, there was probably another 7 or 8 inches. I got out my truck and I stepped down. I also don't wear boots. Let me know down in the comments if you deal with snow. Do you wear boots? I don't wear boots. I was about to lie to y'all and say I wear Crocs, but I'm just joking. I wasn't actually going to lie. I've been wearing my Cujos. I got some Cujos when I was at Equip Expo. Some of those ones that had like right mowers on them or something like that. Because I was going outside. I wear Jordans at Equip Expo. I wasn't about to go outside with them. I learned my lesson. All right, so bring an extra pair of shoes if you go to Equip Expo and use code MAC50. It's just MAC now. Use code MAC to save yourself 50% off your registration. See how that natural plug just came in? But anyway, I went over to Sean. I was like, yo, I need some shoes, whatever. He handed me these right mower shoes. So I go outside and I'm doing all my stuff. So now I just had these Cujo shoes that don't match my uniform. And I'm like, hell, I'm gonna just wear them. And they just slide. I wear the jack. I thought they were called Jags, but I guess they're called Jacks now. I don't know. But I just slide them some bitches on, boom, boom, boom. Throw on some sweatpants, and I wear a hoodie. I wear the warm gear Under Armour stuff too, just in case I gotta get off the truck. And then boom, I go out there. So I step down into the snow. I'm like, oh, this is wild. I ain't seen nothing like this in 15 years. 2010, we had 18 inches of snow in a day, and we had a blizzard. My wife and I were stuck in when we lived in an apartment with my 3-year-old nephew, and then the power went out. My wife had to go to work. She was pregnant, I believe, and we couldn't find her. We still had flip phones in 2015. That thing had died. My girl's only 5 feet tall, 5'1", something like that. We got snow so fast, it happened. I had a Nissan Maxima. She had a Ford Fusion with a 1.4-liter engine in it. So she took my Maxima because it had a 3.5-liter engine in it, and she went to work. She worked. They did not let these people. She worked for Aldi. All right, Aldi do not play. They gonna work you. So The store was supposed to stay open. It stayed open. Then she left around 8 and couldn't make it to our apartment, which was up hills and down hills and all of that. She ended up having to park my car on the side of the street. It got snowed in, just like all these other cars that are getting snowed in now. And then she walked, I don't know, 2, 3 miles trudging through the snow. We couldn't find her. The power went off. It was a crazy thing, man. But that was the last time I seen that much snow. So when I got out of my car, out of the truck real quick, just to stretch out and go get a couple bottles of water from the gas station that I parked at, I step out and man, it went all the way up past the top of my Cujo Jags. All right, shout out to Cujo. But that's what I wear. And so I went around, I plowed everything again. And by the time I finished plowing the route, I had to go and plow that son bitch again. I was out there for 24 straight hours. It was so tiring. And here's another thing. Because I got ADHD, everything happens when it needs to happen. I never prepare. I mean, I get ready for the show 15 minutes before the show. This has got to stop. Comment down below if you can relate to that. I wait till the last minute. And so I didn't have nothing packed. I'm supposed to leave on Tuesday at 6:25 in the morning, which means I got to leave my house at least 4 in the morning to get to the airport, make sure I don't have to stress out because we do stress-free flights too. It ain't just stress-free lawn care, stress-free snow removal. I'm trying to do everything as stress-free as possible. But as you can see, because I'm late on getting stuff ready, I'm always stressed out. It's crazy. But I come home, I call my wife. I'm like, hey, I'm tired. I come home, I lay down on the couch, and then she hits me and she's like, "Hey, do you know anybody else who's doing plowing that's out right now?" I'm like, "No." Well, we had a friend who needed to have her father's driveway plowed out so that he could get to dialysis, and he has health problems. This is why when I mentioned Steve-O, I think it's so dope that he went out there and he was just helping out people who were in need. And that's because I had just done it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I didn't really feel like doing it. I took the nap and then I woke up, and it hadn't been done. My man Steve-O hadn't hit me back yet because I was going to ask him to do it. And so I was already on my way to do it when Steve-O called me, and I was like, "Don't even worry about it, bro. I took care of it. Everything's cool." But I went out there, I took care of that, and that was at like midnight or 11:30 or something like that. So, and I still didn't have anything packed. So now I hit my wife up. I'm like, "Yo, can you get my suitcase out?" Cause she's like, "It's already out." So I came home, I packed up everything that I needed, grabbed my podcast board, took down my laptop, and no, I didn't even take my laptop. I forgot about that. I forgot my laptop here. Took everything down, and I got ready, head out to the airport. I had done all of the properties, everything was cleaned up, everything was salted, the snow was done. And I was on the plane headed to New Orleans. Here's the crazy thing. I live in a suburb of Pittsburgh called Monroeville. It's where the 2026 Winning Life Service Business Showcase meetup will be held on March 21st. You can sign up in my link tree on Instagram at Mac_landscaping 412, or in the comment section. I will put that in there at some point. Well, when I get through all these stories, or any YouTube video or any podcast, it's down there. Sign up. It's 100% free, and I'm still zeroing in on a location, but I forgot what I was talking about. So I'm getting all my stuff ready to get to the airport to go down here and do this stuff. And this is what I was gonna say. I didn't when COVID happened here in Pennsylvania. My man Fullerton was pissed because in Michigan, lawn and landscape was deemed non-essential. So people's grass was growing. My man Fullerton couldn't work. Here in Pennsylvania, it wasn't like that. So we could landscape and lawn care stuff was deemed essential. So I didn't have to stop doing my business, right? I also worked at a group home at the time. And you know what else is essential? Helping people, helping to take care of people. So I didn't have to stop working from the full-time job as well. My wife was able to work from home. She was a banker, so she just worked on her computer from home rather than driving to the office, and COVID completely changed how office work actually happened. But when COVID happened, I remember we were still. I think we still had some cable. We still had cable at the time, and I remember watching CNN and Fox News and our local channels, and you'd see these long lines of people that were in cars waiting. I mean, miles and mile long lines to go to the food bank or to get toilet paper or all these different things. Well, because our jobs were how they were, it never really affected us. We, in fact, made a little more money because we didn't have to. My wife didn't have to drive or get a bus pass to ride the public transportation down into the city. Um, we didn't have a lot of things that we had to use as expenses before. We didn't have to do that. Like we didn't use as much gas in our vehicles because we weren't driving as much. And so all of these things, like where our bank accounts were flourishing, our refrigerator always had food in it, but I didn't realize that there were so many people that were without work, waitresses and waiters and cook staff and people that worked at malls and movie theaters and all these different places that people weren't allowed to go to anymore. That never affected me. And so when I seen those things, I was like, "What are they doing?" Not in a disrespectful way, but in an ignorant way, because I just didn't know. We didn't. I just didn't understand that that was happening. Well, when the snowstorm happened, because the point of that story is this: we had the snowstorm, 24 straight hours. I wasn't even home. All right. So I was on the phone with Payjack. Shout out to Payjack. He talked to me for hours that night, helping me get through the snowstorm because so I wouldn't fall asleep. But I was talking to him and I remember saying, "Man, I did all these driveways and parking lots and stuff, and now I gotta go home. I have to do my own." And my wife is such a beast. She was out there every few hours shoveling, around our car, making sure we was cool. So that's what it was like when I eventually had gotten home. Before I left to go to the airport, though, I left at 4 in the morning. By 7:30 on Monday, all of the streets in Monroeville that I am frequently on were all clear, like nothing had happened except regular snow. Besides the fact that when you drive down the street, there was 2 and 3 foot mounds of snow, which were in front of people's driveways and things like that. Those had to be opened up. But when I'm driving through, I didn't realize like everything was perfect. You didn't even need four-wheel drive or anything, right? So now I'm down in New Orleans. It never occurred to me how all of this snow was affecting other areas because I didn't get to see it. Where I live, all the streets were clear. So shout out to our Monroeville municipality and our public works people who do all of that, man. Shout out y'all. You guys did a hell of a job. But in the city of Pittsburgh, it is a disaster area. Let me know, is it like that where you're from if you got hit with a whole lot of snow? But I didn't think of none of that. So now I get in New Orleans and we do 18 properties. There's there's a place I do a lot of work for. They have a whole lot of other properties as well, but we only do 18. Not just for them. They were hitting me up like, "Can you go to this place and this place and that place and this place over here? There's also this other place we got that I never even knew about. Can you go over there and do that? Can you get behind this other house that I know you don't even drive back there, but there's an alley the city works people can't get. That's where our stuff is parked. Can you go back there, clean all of that up?" So whole time I'm in New Orleans, but I got a brother. His name is Mario. I talked about him on the show a couple months ago when I was down in Florida and we had our first snowstorm, and unexpectedly we got 5 inches up here, and I had to train my brother over the phone through FaceTime on how to use the Boss equipment. And like I said on that show, shout out to Boss for making everything so easy. And I'm sure other, you know, plow, snow equipment manufacturers make their stuff as easy as possible too. But I'm only familiar with Boss, so that's all I got to compare it to. He did a phenomenal damn job. And so I hit him up because I knew that I was going to be going to New Orleans. And I said, "Hey, when I go down here, do you want to run the truck again for me?" He was like, "Yeah." So shout out to him because, boy, I tell you what, He worked like 17, 18 hours while I was gone. Just cleaning out other stuff that wasn't even on the roster that I have. And so shout out to him. But that's how I dealt with it is I did everything 24 hours and then left, went on my plane, hit my brother up, and then he took care of everything while I was gone and did just a phenomenal job. So when you get in the snow, if you're like me and you have a small operation and you're the guy still operating, the truck and everything, it's your business, you're working in it, like they say you should be working on it. I don't necessarily believe all that crap. I like doing what I do, and I ain't about to have nobody tell me that I'm doing it wrong. Let me take that back. If I'm doing something wrong, tell me about that. But just because I don't want to have a $1 million, $5 million, 10 million, $15 million lawn care business, you ain't gonna tell me that I'm doing something wrong because I don't believe I am. Let me know if you relate to that. But if you are operating like that, you have to have good relationships with people. Now, this is my brother, but I got great relationships with other people like Tommy. We had a snow clipper. He texted me while we was down at the thing, and he was like, "Yo, just Monroeville, we had some snow this morning. I just went through. I hit your daycare for you. I do this daycare plaza." So he just did that. I didn't even have to ask. It was He's just dope, right? Tommy's my man. But yeah, so you got to make sure that this is why you can't be a jerk. This is why you can't be the guy mean mugging people at the gas station or at your dealership whenever you're getting something service. Like, smile, shake hands, hit somebody with a fist bump. What's going on, bruh? What do you do? Where do you service? Right? Do you do snow? What if you don't even do snow, but this happened? Well, now you can ask some questions. How do I price this? That's what Marcus Tate did. So, like, you have to have people around you that are going to help you because you help them too. See, you can't just go around asking people for help when you don't reciprocate it. If I need something, Tommy or Piper or Talon or John, my brother, Captain Jack, they're there. If they need something, guess what I'm gonna be? I'm gonna be there. And so that's how I handled everything, by having great relationships with other people. Because if you're working in the business and not on the business like I do, you want to be able to take vacations. You want to be able to go do things. You want to be able to do the things that give you joy in your heart. And that's why you're doing it the way you're doing it, right? So you have to have people who will help you so that you can accomplish those things and not burn yourself out. I hope that makes sense for you. But that's how I handle Snowmageddon 2026. My man CC Crawley Kid is in the building. What's going on with you? Clark Williamson is in the building. Quality Lawn Pros. Carson Cuts. My beautiful wife is in the building. Sincere Jacobs, Al Palmer, John Pajak is in the building. The Prophets Guru, D's Lawn Care Service, Mo Town K is in the building. JV period NN is in the building. I am a child of God 77 is in the building. Iverson _1 IMO 923 System Ground Inc. What's going on with y'all, man? How you doing? Valley View, that's my man Terry. What's going on with you? JP Lawn Services. Sup, Mac? Trying to get moving in Charleston, South Carolina. That's what's up. The Snowway plow dealer, about 30 miles away. Seen a plow truck setups for less than 15K. They all got done. Damn. Yeah, bruh. Hey, people was out there. Lowe's don't have no salt, no snow shovels, anything. That snowstorm was very lucrative for people who were positioned for it, just like the recession was for people who were positioned for it. And I want to be positioned right for the next time something happens so I could capitalize on it. All these people was out here capitalizing on some stuff. One man, one more landscaping in the building. What's going on? It's my man Crawley Kid, Cowboy Crawley. Shout out to him doing the live shows like I do. But now, before we get out of here, let me give you this story that hopefully will help you to get through the hard times, because the moral of the story is, I'll tell you after the story. So we got to get ready for lawn care because we just had a blizzard, right? And we're going to change the pace because soon enough, The sun is gonna come out. We'll hear the birds chirping happily right now. Right now they're chirping, they're probably cussing Mother Nature out. Warm it on up. Warm it on up, like Chris Cross used to say. That's what I'm about to. I might be dating myself when I make a Chris Cross reference. You young people probably don't know who that is, but they used to wear their pants backwards in there. But warm it up. That's what I'm about to. That's what's about to happen. All right. In the next, I don't know, 40 to 60 days, it's going to warm back up and everything is going to turn green again. We're going to light up the grass cutting go-karts, the hedge trimmers, the mulch blowers, all of the great equipment that makes this stuff so fun to me. All right. Now we about to light all of that stuff up, but nobody can just come into the game and just automatically be in shape. There's this saying like you got to be in football shape or basketball shape or soccer shape, meaning what you do, the movements that you make, start and stop. If you're a baseball player, your swing, or if you're a pitcher, your pitches. If you're Steph Curry, it's your shooting form. You got to get them shots up in the preseason and in the practices. If you're a football player, you got to run the plays that you know you're going to run. I tell my daughter, hey, when you're about to play basketball, you got to go to the places where you're going to shoot in the game and shoot from there before the game starts. So that when you get in the game and you get in that position, boom, you're ready. You're there to shoot the shot. Why? Because you've been practicing that shot over and over and over again. That's what Kobe Bryant did. The same shot over and over and over and over again. So when it happens in real life, in the game, you're prepared for it. This is why. So there's a conditioning process that has to happen. But before you ever pick up the ball, I want to tell you the story. Whenever I told the story before, I think I'm going to tell it a little bit better. But when I was a freshman in high school, I played football. I was in like 11 different schools before I got to high school. My ninth grade year, I left Gateway High School and I went to McKeesport High School where I graduated from, where I'm actually from. And that was the last time I switched schools was my freshman year from one school to the other. And then I stayed at that one. I got on the football team because I got there to school a little bit late. I played football. So when basketball, my actual sport that I love, came along, we had to go through conditioning. Okay. Now, conditioning for the ninth grade team, because my school, we had a coach that was on the varsity level, and he didn't believe in having freshmen and sophomores on the varsity team. So you weren't even allowed to try out for varsity till you got to 11th grade. So that meant you had to play ninth grade ball, and then on 10th grade you played JV. There was no 11th graders on JV, and then when you got to 11th grade, you were able to play JV and varsity. So there's not very many 1,000-point scores at my alma mater. There's like 4 of them, and they just recently happened because now the coaches now are up on times. They let freshmen play. So shout out to all them young people getting an opportunity. Wish I would have got, but who cares now? We're 42. We ain't in high school anymore. But the point is, when I got to ninth grade, we left football, and literally our last football game happened on a Wednesday, I think. On Thursday, we had basketball practice the very next day. Now, here's the thing. Let me know down in the comments, do you love what you're doing right now? Like if you're doing lawn care or power washing, whatever your business is or going to be, do you love it? Because I love basketball. I mean, I love it. Now, I don't watch it as much as I used to because it's a waste of time. I wasn't able to make it to the NBA. And so watching people who did make it when I didn't, it's kind of like a waste of your time. So I will watch the finals and stuff like that. I will watch my Steelers from time to time. But those people are living a dream that I can only imagine. And I'm on the way to live my own dream. And it started with ninth grade basketball. I learned a crazy lesson. So the ninth grade basketball coach was actually, he's my cousin. He's so much older than us. He's like, I don't know, maybe 80 now. His name's Coach Kirby. Everyone just called him Curb. All right. So he's actually my cousin. And he was a teacher at the high school. So I'd be walking down and he'd be like, yo, let me see your report card. I show him my report card, whatever. So anyway, we get to basketball practice. Now it's the very next day after football practice. We walk in. I shit you not. There's like 70 or 80 ninth graders that want to play basketball. 70 or 80. So we walk in this little ass gym, and all these kids we're all standing around. So how do you find out who really loves this thing? By conditioning. That's how. You see, most times when people go to basketball practice, what do they want to do? They want the coach to roll the ball out. You pick it up and you guys just start playing. Well, that ain't how this went, because when you got 80 people trying to do the same thing, it's just like lawn care. We're about to go into, we're in February now. March will be here in no time. Between February and July, it's about to be 80 kids starting new lawn care businesses in your own area, maybe even in your neighborhood. It could be even your neighbor. But I want to teach you something. You got 80 people and they all want to play basketball. How do you find out who truly loves it? He did this. We stretched, because he was a cross country coach, so you can probably see where this is going. We stretched for probably 15 to 20 minutes, just getting stretch your Achilles, stretch your hamstring, stretch all that. It was like, come on, man, this is boring. When do we get the ball? I want to play. I don't even stretch before I play. I'm 14. I don't care about stretching. But no, we gonna stretch. Do these stretches and all of this shit. All right, bet. Then he hits the whistle. Boom. Hits the whistle. Run in a circle. We run in a circle, I swear, Lord. We ran in a circle for 45 straight minutes. Just in a circle. He's sitting up we got the bleachers folded up. He's sitting up on top of the bleachers. My man is falling asleep. He up there like this. Finally, after 45 minutes, boop, he hits the whistle. Everybody go get a drink. One dude, during the drink, just walked out the door. So now we went from 80 to 79 after 45 minutes. We come back in, everybody's all right, man, that was tiring, but at least we about to get to play now. Came back in, boop, he hit that whistle again. Go the other direction. What? We just ran for 45 minutes in one direction. Now we get a drink, we get to go the other direction. I mean, cool. I love it. So it don't matter to me. I'll do anything you tell me to do. It don't matter. And I just got done playing football. I'm in shape. So let's do this. So I start running. Boom, boom, boom. We running in a circle. We get done. All right, now we gonna get the ball. No. We won't get the ball. Now we're gonna run what's called Kirby suicides. Now, if you're familiar with a basketball court, I probably should have had a little diagram up here or something. But if you're familiar with a basketball court, you have the two baselines, the two sidelines. That's the court. Those are 94 feet. All right. Then you got the foul line. All right. And after the foul line, you got half court, and you got the other foul line, and you got a baseline. The normal suicide is baseline, foul line, baseline, half court, baseline, other foul line, baseline, full court, and then you're done after you get back to, run the full court sprint. Well, here's where a little different. On the basketball court, there's also hash marks. All right. They break the court down into quarters. Right. They break it down into quarters. So basically, you got the foul line, then a hash mark, then half court, then a hash mark, then the foul line, then the baseline. And that's how. So his was baseline, foul line, baseline, hash mark, baseline, full court, baseline, other hash mark, baseline, foul line, baseline, full court. Stop right there. Turn around. Baseline, foul line, baseline, hash mark, baseline, full half court, baseline, other hash mark, baseline, other foul line, baseline, full court, baseline. And it was, so you basically ran, I don't know, 3 suicides. And I still was trying to win. After that, we had to do high knees. You just got to stand, you got to run down the court high knees. And he's backing up. I mean, he's backing up like one step every 2 seconds. Yeah. So it's like, he's just backing up so slow, like watching the minute hand go around the clock. When you actually watch it, it seems like it takes forever, even though it only takes 60 seconds. It seems like an eternity. So we're back and forth like that, probably 6 times. After that, we had to do leaps and bounds where you jump out, you leap as far as you can. It looks like you're swimming through the air, and you do that back and forth. And then we did defensive shuffles, and we had to run and dive on the ground. We had to do all of this stuff. That was the first practice. Now, I played football, and there was a whole lot of other football players that played as well. We was in shape. Imagine the kids that's in freshman in high school think they could play basketball because they played at the Boys and Girls Club or at the YMCA. Some of them smoke weed, some of them drink at 14. Imagine them coming into that gym and trying to run around and do all of that, and they don't love it. They're going to quit. That's how you get down to the people who love it, by making it so hard. We did that every day for 2 weeks. The second day, we went from 80 kids to 40 kids. The third day, we went from 40 to 34. Making this up. It gradually dwindled down till we got down to 20 kids. He didn't cut anyone. Everyone who didn't love it cut themselves. Now get this. You really got to love it if there's 10 players that are better than you and they're going to play the whole game for the most part, and you're in the last 11 to 20, you just down there. You ain't ever getting in unless we're up. And we killed a lot of people, so that everyone got to play. But only those who truly love the game are willing to go through that stuff. Why? Because they love the game. It don't matter what you got to go through, because you love the game and you want to be good at the game and you want to play the game and you want to be on the team and you want to fist bump your teammates and you want to uplift one another and you want to crack jokes when people mess up. You want to laugh at the coach together, because we're going to have those memories for the rest of our lives. There's people still to this day that remember Coach Kirby falling asleep, and that is not a story that was only my story. Guess what? The freshmen that were there the year before me, they seen him doze off on the bleachers too. And 20 years prior to that, they seen it as well. He was just younger then. Here's the moral of the story. Most people quit because they don't love it. So when all of these people who ain't going to do things the right way, they ain't looking to make their, again, whether you want to have a business like mine, 1, maybe 2 employees and yourself, or you want to have 50, it don't matter. It does not matter. At the end of the day, the people who start and don't care to get better because they only want to get beer and weed money, those people, you don't actually have to compete with them. Let them charge 25. Don't even let it bother you. It doesn't matter, because you are different. My wife said one time, we're broke apart from that. And the people who start out, those 80 people, they're just like those kids who quit on themselves at 9th grade basketball just because we had to do a little bit of running. It's going to get hot out here. It's going to get hot. Rocks are going to hit your shins. You might bust a pane glass window. You might jackknife your truck or mess up your trailer, or a mower belt might explode on you. It's going to get hot. Those are the things that make the people who don't love it quit. But we ain't like them. We're broke off from that. You are broke off from everything you used to be before you started your business. So if you truly love it, just keep running in the circle. Even when the coach falls asleep, he might miss 3 weeks of On the Attack with Mac Mondays. But that don't mean that you can't still give it your all and not quit because you love it. And if you don't love it, hey man, I wish you the best. Maybe you'll find something that you do love. My brother who's going to be on the show on Wednesday, who did my snow for me, he's a prime example of that. He started out with lawn care, he didn't love it. He loves doing his own yard, but that don't mean you gotta like doing it for other people. So he started his lemonade truck. Guess what? He loves that. And we're gonna teach you how to make these lemonades, because when we all work outside, I mean, you gotta have another hustle. And so we're gonna go through the process on how he makes these lemonades here on Wednesday, and how he is winning in life now with a lemonade truck when he used to make 100K plus working for a cable company. But yeah, the moral of the story is most people are going to quit. So don't worry about the $25 guys. The $25 days are over. I got a YouTube channel where a guy actually, YouTube video where a guy actually says that, Alex or Jeff. I can't remember what, I think it's Alex. But those days are over. And the people who charge that, they don't really love the game anyway. They going to quit. They going to quit. And then when the person that they was cutting their grass calls you, they going to tell you about that guy. You might not know his name or her name, who quit because they wasn't charging enough because they ain't really care about the game. They just, wanted some F around money. I don't want to F around money. I want to have an unbelievable life. And that's what I want you to have as well. So when most people quit, you just keep on running. Why? Because you love the game. And you are in a hell of a game, man. And this game can provide everything for you that you've ever wanted in your life if only you would decide that you do want it. So let the guys get their drink, walk their ass out the door. That just gives you more playing time. All right. And if there's somebody in front of you that don't love it as much as you going to catch them anyway. You're going to catch them anyway because they don't love it. And the people who actually love shit, those are the people who win because they'll do it anyway, even if it was for free to do it, like my man Steve-O. So don't quit. Keep running. Don't be influenced by people who are doing negative things. Keep running. Don't be influenced by people who cut corners. Just keep running. You'll be in good shape. Practice the shots that you are going to take. This is the conditioning process. We're going to touch more on this. I got more stories about the 1-inch rule. We're going to talk about that next week and how the 1-inch rule, having that mentality and taking a shot no matter what, will really help you have the opportunity to go out there and win in life. But that's what I got for you tonight. Shout out to all of those snow warriors who are out there. Listen, if you haven't signed up yet and you're going to be in the Pittsburgh area March 21st, we got the Win in Life Meetup Service Business Showcase, which I'm still zeroing in a location. I think we have one now. So we have a request out there because it's funny how I started something I didn't expect no one to care about or come to, but I got people coming from Wisconsin, North Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee, Maine, Vermont, Ohio, Chicago, California, all coming to Pittsburgh to the Win in Life meetup. It is going to be absolutely amazing. It's 100% free for you to come to. And my wife and I are even trying to come up with an even bigger agenda so that after the actual meetup happens on Saturday, we may go out and have a big dinner or go bowling even. You know I love the bowling stuff. So maybe we'll go bowling afterwards. We're still trying to really hone that in because I want to make sure you don't even have to pay. All right, except for your own travel to get here, your own gas money to drive here. To attend, it's absolutely free. On Friday night, we're gonna go to Buffalo Wild Wings for a meet and greet. All right. And on Sunday, you're invited to come to church with me, my wife, and my family, because the church is absolutely amazing and we all need God in our life. And so after we have this wonderful event from 1 to 4 on Saturday, we're gonna go out, maybe have go bowling and have some more fun to continue this Win in Life family, because this is more than just some group. It's really a family, man. And the people who are coming from Wisconsin are like family members. South Carolina, family members. North Carolina, family member. Shout out to my homie Pookie and the Tates down there in South Carolina. But that's what it is. This Win in Life stuff, it ain't just some coined phrase. It is a family of people who are striving together to go out there and win in their own life and have people around them who will support them in doing that. And that's what this is all about. So if you've never been in business before and you're thinking about starting a service business and getting into the trades, this is a wonderful opportunity for you to come try some new mowers. We got people coming with small setups all the way up to huge setups, people with skid steers and people with lawnmowers, people with push mowers and people with zero turns, excavators, all of this types of cool things will be there, and the lemon lineup will be there serving you these fire ass lemonades that my brother has created. So I invite you to do that. Like I said, you can sign up in the link tree on my Instagram page at Mac_landscaping 412. You can even email me at MacLandscaping412 at gmail.com if you, for whatever reason, hear this and can't find my Instagram page or any of that. I will give you the link directly. I want to make it as easy as possible for you to sign up, but it is also on the Eventbrite thing. And I do meetups down in Equip Expo as well. It's the biggest meetup of the year down there, it seems now. And so that all that information will be on the Eventbrite thing. So go ahead and follow that if you really want to be the first person, because that one at Equip Expo is going to be capped at 450 people. And if you don't get your ticket, we are not going to let you in, because we're going to be at the historic Vernon Lanes down there. And we got a $450 person limit. So get your tickets quick. And if you sign up or hit the follow button or whatever on the Eventbrite thing, as soon as it becomes available, you will be the first to know to be able to grab those tickets, so you're not left out. And I invite you to join me at Winning Life University on Facebook, the free group that we have over there on Facebook that is closing in on 100 members. Now, I need to do better promotion on the groups, but I would love for you to come be a part of it, share some of your story as well. And I ain't gonna say last but not least, because this might not be the last thing I say. We have some openings starting in April for the Win in Life Wednesday show, where we talk to service business entrepreneurs, hear where they came from, how they got started, what things make them successful, and what the wins in their life are, because that is what makes people relatable to you, whether or not they have a $50 million business or a $10,000 business, or they haven't even started yet. It's the stories of the people and how they got going and what makes them a winner in life and what has helped them to win in their business so that they can win in life. And those are the stories that we are going to be sharing with you going forward. So if you are interested in being a guest on the Win in Life Wednesday show, do me a favor, DM me at Mac_landscaping 412, and let me know that you want to be on the show. Like I said, we're starting to book April. We already have February filled. We already have March filled, and now we are working on April. So if you would like to be a part of the show, share your story of inspiration, motivation, and maybe even some education to help someone else go out there and win in life, I would love to have you on. And it is open book, first come, first serve. So whoever hits me up first, we will get you locked in, and we'll keep it that way until we get people flaking out, and then I'll have to do it a different way. But until then, I invite you to come on there and be a part of the show. But as always, I love you, man. I appreciate you. I wish you nothing but success. And remember, the Creator created you to be creative. So get out there and create whatever you want in your life, because you deserve it. I'm out. Peace. We will see you next week. Actually, we'll see you on Wednesday. Peace.